Welcome to the Think Forward podcast, where we speak with futurists, innovators, and big thinkers. Come along with your host, Steve Fisher, and explore the future together.
Welcome back to Foundations in Foresight, a Think Forward series. I'm Steve Fisher, and today we're kicking off a brand new phase of this series, one that explores the biggest, most transformative forces shaping our future. For the past 20 episodes, we've built a strong foundation in foresight, learning how to identify signals of change, build layered future scenarios, and create systems for continuous strategic adaptation. Now, it's time to shift our focus from process to content. For the next 20 episodes, we'll be diving deep into the 9 SuperShifts, the massive structural transformations reshaping society, technology, business, and culture. These aren't just trends. SuperShifts are fundamental realignments of how our world works. In this episode, we'll introduce the 9 SuperShifts and what makes them different from conventional trends, explore how they interact and amplify each other, set up the roadmap for the deep dives into each shift in the coming episodes. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why these SuperShifts are critical, where they are headed, and why they require new strategies to navigate and leverage. Let's dive in. What are the 9 SuperShifts? SuperShifts are not ordinary trends. They are macro-level, systemic transformations that redefine entire industries, economies, and ways of life. Unlike conventional trends, which may rise, peak, and decline, SuperShifts do not fade away. They create irreversible shifts in how society functions, producing complex ripple effects across industries, cultures, and governance systems. These shifts are not happening in isolation. Instead, they interact, amplify, and accelerate one another, creating a dynamic and unpredictable future landscape. So what are they? Here's a brief overview of the 9 SuperShifts. First, generational drift, the demographic and cultural realignment driven by aging populations, declining birth rates, and shifting generational values. This is reshaping workforce dynamics, political priorities, and economic structures in ways most leaders are unprepared for. Second, Intellifusion, the convergence of human and machine intelligence transforming decision-making, creativity, and expertise. AI is no longer just a tool. It's becoming a collaborator, challenging our understanding of what intelligence means. Third, Tech-celeration, the exponential acceleration of technological development, outpacing society's ability to adapt. Quantum computing, biotech, automation, and decentralized technologies are reshaping industries faster than organizations can respond. Четвертый, reality remix, the blending of physical and digital experiences, from extended reality to AI-generated realities and digital twins. The way we experience, interact, and even define reality itself is being rewritten. Femte, Powerflow, the transformation of energy systems, decentralizing power generation and shifting the geopolitical and economic balance of energy distribution. Who controls energy in the future will determine global economic power and environmental sustainability. Sixth, eco-awakening, the global shift toward sustainability, regeneration, and circular economies, reshaping policy, markets, and business models. Organizations that fail to embed sustainability into their operations risk obsolescence. Seventh, social quake, the upheaval of social structures, from institutional erosion to decentralized governance and digital tribalism. Societal norms, trust, and legitimacy are all shifting, bringing both instability and new forms of cooperation. 8. World Mosaic, the fragmentation of global power, where centralized world orders are giving way to a multipolar, heterogeneous system. New regional power centers, digital-first economies, and shifting cultural influence are changing the rules of global engagement. Bionexus, the fusion of biology and technology, enabling human enhancement, engineered ecosystems, and biointegrated computing. Advances in synthetic biology, genetic engineering, and living machines are redefining what it means to be human. Each of these SuperShifts is already unfolding, but their full impact has yet to be realized. Over the next 18 episodes, we'll unpack each one, exploring what's driving it, its cascading effects, and how individuals and organizations can prepare for and navigate these transformations. How SuperShifts differ from conventional trends. Most trends are surface-level movements. They may be significant, but they don't fundamentally alter the fabric of society. SuperShifts, on the other hand, are deep, structural transformations that permanently alter industries, governance, and social norms. Example, the difference between a trend and a SuperShift. A trend might be the rise of remote work, a response to technology and societal changes, but the SuperShift behind it is generational drift. a long-term shift in demographic power, workforce expectations, and cultural values that permanently changes how and where we work. A trend might be increased investment in clean energy, but the super shift behind it is Powerflow, a transformation of global energy infrastructure that is fundamentally altering economic and geopolitical landscapes. Understanding super shifts means we aren't just following surface trends. We're looking at the systemic forces that will determine the next era of human progress. What's next? The deep dive into generational drift. In the next 2 episodes, we'll begin with generational drift, the massive demographic shift that's redefining work, economics, and society. We'll explore how aging populations and birth rate declines are transforming economies, how Gen Z and Gen Alpha are changing expectations for work, education, and governance, why traditional workforce models are no longer sustainable, and what's next. By the end of our deep dive, you'll understand why generational drift is more than just demographics. It's a fundamental reset of global systems. Final thoughts and challenge for listeners. The future isn't shaped by single trends. It's shaped by deep, interwoven super shifts that are redefining the rules of the game. So here's your challenge. Pick one super shift that resonates most with you. What signals of it do you see happening now? Think about its impact. Who benefits? Who struggles? Start tracking its evolution. What's changing month to month, year to year? In our next episode, we'll start our deep dive into generational drift, examining how shifting demographics will redefine the future of work, economy, and culture. Until then, keep exploring, questioning, and as always, think forward.
Thanks for listening to the Think Forward podcast. You can find us on all the major podcast platforms and at www.thinkforwardshow.com, as well as on YouTube under Think Forward Show. See you next time.